The following program is paid for by Main Street Living.
Hi, I'm Pastor Matthew Harrison, president of the Lutheran Church Missouri Synod. Starting in the late 1950s, Lutheran Hour Ministries aired a television program called This is the Life in their efforts to bring Christ to the nations. It was a critically acclaimed show that used story and drama to convey eternal truths from God's Word. And it featured actors who were just getting started in their careers. Recently, Lutheran Hour Ministries, in partnership with Main Street Living, remastered and brought to HD quality about 50 of these programs. You may notice some young actors who've become very famous. And even though the props and styles are of the 1960s and 70s, the subject matter is still very relevant. So please sit back and enjoy this week's episode of This is the Life.
This is your captain speaking. I'm happy to report that we've been promised good weather all the way to Chicago. It should be arriving in O'Hare International in approximately 1 hour. Thank you. Making good time?
Too good.
Oh?
Oh, nothing. It's just that
Is this your first flight? I couldn't help but notice that you seem kind of upset ever since we left New York.
No, it's not that. I love to fly. It's just I have to figure something out when I reach Chicago, but the closer I get, the farther away I seem to be from any answer.
From New York?
I've been living there, but I'm from Minneapolis.
Oh, beautiful city. The lakes, parks. I'm from Seattle. I have a church there. My name is Dave Woods.
Karen Smith.
I'm glad to know you.
I suppose you hear about a lot of problems.
Yes, I do. But I never run out of ears.
Oh, I'm so mixed up.
Are you in love?
Oh, no, nothing like that. You see, I've done something that... Oh, but I don't see how talking about it's going to make any difference.
Well, of course you're right. It won't change anything that's already happened. But it might change the way you feel about it.
About a year and a half ago, when I was just finishing high school, well, everything started to happen all at once. I wasn't getting along with my parents. Silly things. Grades, and housework, and dating. Little things kept coming up. And my best friend, Lori, she was having a bad time with her family, too. Well, I remember one night, Lori came over to study, and...
I can't take it anymore. You know, my mom won't lay off lately.
Don't feel like the Lone Ranger.
You know, you'd think I were 10 years old the way they keep the thumb on me.
Well, another few months and we graduate.
You think that's going to make any difference? As long as we live at home, there aren't going to be any changes, at least not with my folks.
Mine are still simmering because I was out so late Saturday night.
Gee, you know, I sure envy Marie, the way she split. Wow, no hassle, no sweat.
How's she doing? Have you heard?
Yeah, I got a letter from her last week, and she got an agent. She's doing some modeling, and she really loves New York.
Wow. I've never even been outside of Minnesota.
Well, I'll tell you, if my folks push me much further, I'm going to be out of Minnesota. About as far as I can get. In fact, I may just go to New York.
Well, a few days later, there was this big party out at the lake. Well, just everybody went. Well, you know, there was some drinking, and on the way home, Tom, the guy I was with, well, he had to show off his crummy old car. We ran off the road right into a telephone pole.
Was anyone hurt?
No, only the pool. But the word got around, and oh, wow. The next day, my mother really lit into me.
You're lucky you both weren't killed.
I know.
Karen, why do you date boys like this? Why do you get
How
yourself
was I
involved?
supposed to know he was going to get stoned?
But this isn't the first time you've gotten yourself into situations.
Mother, I suppose you never did anything that wasn't exactly right.
Karen, your father and I don't expect you not to make mistakes, but you're just running headlong, blindly, and we're afraid that...
I can take care of myself. I'm not 5 years old, remember? I'm 18.
Nevertheless, you're still our responsibility.
And I'll be glad when I'm not.
Karen, your father and I love you so much. We've got great plans for you. If only you could see.
But why can't you ever see anything from my side sometimes? But I suppose that's asking too much.
Hello, operator. I'd like to call New York. Area code 212-203-1341. Okay. I sure hope she's there.
Me too.
Hi, Marie. It's Lori. Hey, great. Look, I'm calling from a phone booth, and I don't have that much money, so I'm going to have to make it fast. Okay, here's the deal. Karen and I are really fed up. I just had another flap with my folks, and she got a curfew slapped on her because she flunked a couple of exams. Anyway, we were wondering if we came to New York, do you think you could kind of help us get... Super! Wow, we just knew that you'd help us. Okay, right. We'll let you know. Okay, bye. Oh, and thanks. Wow, she's gonna help us get jobs and everything.
Groovy. Say, we can go to my house. My folks are out. We can talk.
Okay. Why don't we leave right away, this week?
Well, what'll we do for money?
Well, I've got some I was saving for clothes.
And maybe I could sell my records and my radio.
Sure, together we could scrape up enough for bus fare. And then Saturday night, when our folks think we're at the dance, we could take off.
So, we just ran out. As soon as we got to New York, we went to Marie's. And the bubble started to burst.
Yeah.
Hi, is Marie here?
Hey, you must be Laurie and Karen.
Yeah, we just got in.
I'm Karen.
Well, come in, come in. I'm Jack Lawson, a friend of Marie's. Sit down, relax. I'll get you some beer. Marie said you'd be showing up.
We're really anxious to see her.
Well, I'm afraid you're going to have to wait a while.
Well, that's okay.
She left town.
Oh, no.
When?
She had a chance to grab a modeling job in Los Angeles, so she just took off. Couldn't wait. Didn't even take time to finish packing. Asked me to ship the rest of her stuff out to her.
Well, when will she be back?
Well, if things turn out like she hopes, she may stay on out there. Well, sit down, sit down.
Gee, we were counting on Marie to help us.
Yeah, I know. Well, she felt bad about running out. But she said you could stay here if you want. You know, the rent's paid up for another couple weeks. These pads aren't bad. I live just down the hall. The rent's cheap for this area.
Well, I guess for the time being, we might as well stay.
Yeah, we've got nowhere else to go.
Look, I know a lot of people. It's rough, but I'll do all I can to help.
What do you do?
Anything for a buck. Drink up, come on.
Well, there we were. Too broke to go home, even if we wanted to.
Was this Jack able to help?
Oh, a little. We got jobs. Waitresses. You know, things like that, just to keep eating. But mostly we tried to break into modeling. You see, Laurie and I had some amateur acting, and, well, we figured we had as good a chance as anybody else to break in.
Did you have any luck?
No. Oh, we made the rounds. You know, we tried just about everything. But with all those other kids, well... Before we knew it, almost a whole year had gone by. And I was getting worried about everything. Including the fact that Laurie had started to blow a lot of grass. You know, marijuana.
You know, you worry too much.
Laurie, I have nothing against stuff, but if you should get a job call...
If anybody calls, I'll handle them.
You know, sometimes I think we were really dumb coming here.
I don't.
But don't you ever think about your family or what they're doing?
They're probably glad I'm gone. Best thing that's happened in years.
I don't know. Sometimes I wish I'd written to mine.
Tell them what? How big we made it? Look, if you gotta worry about something, why don't you worry about making it with this new photographer?
Sure, what's Al gonna do? He's having a hard time breaking in himself.
So give him a chance.
What I need is someone to make me feel like we didn't blow it by coming here like this.
Well, look, we got two choices. We can either hang on or we can go crawling back. And me, I'm gonna hang on. I don't care how I do it, but I'm not going crawling back to them.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to sound like I'm...
Look, if Jack says that Al is a genius with a camera, and as long as he's willing to take some free layouts of us, well, who knows what could happen?
That's better. That's better. Okay, now, nice big smile. Hold it. Good, good. Now, I want you to kneel down on this. Come on, up on your knees.
Okay.
Get a pillow. Get a pillow in front of you.
This one?
Yeah, that's cute. That's good. Okay, right at the camera. Ready? Good, good, good. On your side, I want a little leg here. Come on.
I can find it. Woo!
Come on. That's my girl. Okay? Pretty. Now hold that. Okay, come on. Now this one I want you on your back, very sexy with the hair out. There you go. Put your arm like this. Good. Hey, that's gonna look nice. That's gonna hey. Now I want you to smile. Okay, now I want you to look just about here. That's a girl. Okay.
Oh, you want me to change?
No, that's it. Besides, no more film.
Al, are they all right?
Yeah, beautiful. I've got some good stuff, I think. You're still a little self-conscious, but you're gonna come out of it.
Well, I'm trying.
Print some of these shots for you, and maybe with a little luck, I can place them where they'll do us both some good.
Oh, I hope so.
Next time, how about some nudes?
Would it be a job?
No, it'll be on spec. But I'll gamble on some film.
Well, I don't know.
You've got a good figure. Why hide it?
Well, I'm just not too keen about it.
Listen, doll, do you want to get ahead in this racket? Well, there's no faster way than to take it off. That is, if you've got something to show. You have.
You know, I don't know why you're holding out. Believe me, I'm gonna let Al shoot me anyway once.
Oh, I suppose I'll let Al go ahead. Because something's got to happen.
Well, if it doesn't real soon, I know what I'm gonna do.
What?
I'm gonna move in with Jack.
You are?
Yep. He doesn't know yet, but, I don't think he'll really mind.
Well, I didn't know you liked him that well.
Well, what has that got to do with it? I mean, as long as he pays the bill.
Yeah, but if you move out, what am I going to do?
Well, maybe you could work something out with Al.
sure.
Well, why not? He likes you and he's got a groovy pad.
Because I don't know him that well.
Hey, I've got an idea. Let's throw a party Saturday night and invite Jack and Al, and maybe we can both work things out. Okay?
Hey. Let's you and me go to my studio.
Why?
Because I feel inspired, that's why. I feel inspired to shoot a layout of you right now, tonight, that is going to be the most.
Yeah, I can't.
Who says?
Oh, the others. Well, we just can't go off and leave them.
Come on.
Besides, they're too stoned to use the camera.
You let me decide that.
Al, please,
Hey, Laurie.
Yeah, what do you want?
Will you talk to her? Like, I want to shoot a layout of her tonight. She's like being very stubborn.
Well, if she won't, I will.
Yeah, that's more like it. Now what do you say?
Maybe we should all go over to your studio.
Sure, why not?
Why not what?
We're all going over to Al's studio, and he's going to shoot some pictures of us.
Like Adam and Eve.
Hey, what are we waiting for? Hey, Omar, come on out from under your tent. We're gonna... Who is it? Police.
We were all busted. One of the kids had a pocket full of pills. Real heavy stuff. Man, was I scared. You know, we could have been set up. But being it was our first offense, Laurie and I got off with fines. Laurie phoned her folks. They helped out.
What about your folks?
Oh, I didn't let them know. I was too ashamed. But once Laurie's folks knew, well, right after that, she got a letter from them.
And if Karen is still with you, she ought to know about her parents. Her father had a stroke about a year ago, shortly after Karen ran out. It left him paralyzed and unable to work. Karen's mother had to go to work to support them, and it's been a very difficult time for them. They needed Karen's help so badly. Now they're very bitter. Oh, Karen, I'm sorry.
Yes?
Mother?
Karen?
I just heard about Dad. Well, Mother, I don't know what to say.
Laurie's parents just told me about you. I wondered if you'd call.
I'm coming home, Mother. I'll do anything to help, anything.
Don't you think you've already done enough?
Well, Mom, I didn't realize. Oh, Mom, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
So am I.
Well, I could get a job and I could help out.
Karen, we don't want your money. We don't want anything from you. I haven't told your father that I heard about you. And I don't intend to bring it all up again because I don't think he could take it. Goodbye, Karen.
Why don't you come on back to Minneapolis with me and at least try to talk to your mom again?
Oh, what's the use?
Well, look, maybe after she's had time to think it over. She'll change her mind.
She hates me. And you know, I can't blame her. I can't blame her at all. Oh, Laurie, you're so lucky that your folks are okay and that they want you home again.
Look, I'm leaving for Minneapolis right away. Why don't you stay on here for a few days, as long as the rent's paid anyway, and when I get home, I'll go and I'll see your mom, and I'll tell her how bad you feel and how much you want to make things up, and, well, who knows, it might help.
Yeah, all right. Okay. I want to make it up to my folks if there's any way I can. But what if they won't let me, Laurie? What then?
Was Laurie able to talk to your parents?
No. Oh, she tried, but she wasn't able to get anywhere.
Well, judging from the fact that you're on this plane, I assume that you've decided to see your mother anyway.
No, I haven't decided. Well, I sold everything I could to raise money. I was hoping that by the time I reached Chicago, I'd have it all figured out. I'd know whether to go to Minneapolis or Los Angeles. I called Marie in L.A. just before I left. Well, she said to come on out. That's where all the action is. So I could go and stay with her and start all over. Try to forget.
Could you do that? With all this on your conscience?
Well, that's what the problem is.
This is your captain speaking. We are now arriving at O'Hare International. The seatbelt and no smoking signs have been turned on. There will be no smoking until you enter the terminal building. Thank you.
I just don't know what to do.
Look, I have a short layover in Chicago before my flight to Seattle. I was planning on having lunch at the airport. Why don't you join me?
Thanks, I'd like to.
Good. You better fasten your seatbelt. I'm not exactly an answer man, Karen, but let me give you my opinion. Add it to your own thinking, huh? If I were you, I'd go back to Minneapolis and see my mother and father. And tell them face to face exactly how you feel and why.
But you don't understand. My mother doesn't want me back.
Oh, you don't know that for sure. All you really know is that she and your father have suffered.
And that, well, they have every reason to hate me. But they can't hate me as much as I hate myself.
It may be hard to believe, but as a minister, I'm often sort of a specialist for people who hate themselves. That is, if they hate themselves for the right reason.
Oh?
Well, you said just now that you hate yourself. That's because you have a terrible sense of guilt.
Oh, everything I've done is wrong.
And what you want most right now is understanding and forgiveness, right?
Yes.
I'm not saying this just because I wear this collar, but because I know it is a fact of life. All forgiveness begins with God. And you got yourself involved with God when you broke his commandment. Honor your father and mother. You'll never really be happy unless you feel you have his forgiveness.
I suppose you're right.
And you can have his forgiveness right now, you know. The Bible tells us, Christ made good for all the wrong you and I have ever done. And because of Christ, we know there's a God in heaven who understands, who loves, who forgives. Forgives the very thing that's eating at your heart right now. Believe that.
God may forgive, but that's not my mother or my father.
with your conscience cleared before God, you'll have the courage to ask your parents for their forgiveness. Just ask them.
If only it were that easy.
It may be easier than you think. And it may change your whole life, Karen.
Flight to Seattle. All passengers for Seattle, please board
Well,
your airplane.
my plane leaves in 12 minutes. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you one of my cards. And I'll write the name of a pastor friend of mine in Minneapolis on the back. And he'll be happy to help you with anything he can. Karen, let me know how everything works out. My address is on the card.
I will. Thank you.
I'll be praying for you, Karen.
Attention. Will passengers for flight number 462 for Minneapolis report to gate 34. This flight is now loading.
All Trans World Airlines passengers in flight to Los Angeles, flight number 277. Please board now at gate 32. Thank you.
Operator, I'd like to call Los Angeles. Yes, the number is 213-350-6912. All right. This is Karen. No, I'm calling from Chicago. Yes, I've made up my mind. I think I'd better go home.
This is the Life is brought to you by the Lutheran Church Missouri Synod in cooperation with the Lutheran Laymen's League and is presented by this station as a public service to the religious life of the community.
I hope you found this program to be both entertaining and insightful. Even though the show was filmed decades ago, the concerns of those days seem to parallel many situations of today. We'll be back next week with another episode of This is the Life. In the meantime, I invite you to seek further wisdom from God's Word, the Bible, and I invite you to visit one of our congregations in your area. We are the Lutheran Church Missouri Synod, and you will find our 6,000 congregations listed at www.lcms.org. This program has been brought to you by Main Street Living, which relies on the generosity of viewers to support this programming. They appreciate your prayers and would also appreciate your financial support. You can view additional episodes of This is the Life on the Main Street Living website. Thanks for watching, and join us again next week, same time, same channel, for another episode of This is the Life.
This has been a production of Main Street Living Incorporated, in conjunction with the South Dakota District of the Lutheran Church Missouri Synod and its member churches. Send your comments and contributions to Main Street Living, 1400 South Duluth Avenue, Sioux Falls, South Dakota, 57105.